Hello and welcome to my next video, which, as I'm pretty sure you know, Simba is a colour bot, meaning that everything it finds and does is based around colour and what is based on the screen. Now, in order to get this to work properly, you need to have a few settings set properly, and this is done by loading RuneScape while holding down the S key. And what this does is it puts RuneScape into safe mode. Now you can verify that it is safe mode by clicking on the spanner, and then custom, and then make sure it's on safe mode. A few other things that you'll also want to make sure, just to make sure that your script works properly, is make sure it's on minimum settings with the highest brightness, and also on the fixed size client. This is so everything works properly. So now we're going to log in, and log in. Now let's say we want to find something, so we want to find, just take that off, let's just say we want to find this barrel here in the screen. What we can do is, using Simba, you can get it down, and we can use the colour picker to pick certain colours from the screen, which we can then use in our scripts. And we will go along, hover over, and click. And what this will do is it will pick the colour, and it will give us a number, which we can then use in our scripts. Now, one more thing that you will need to know is you've got a crosshair here. If you want to use it in the standard client instead of Smart, you need to drag this over to the client, and it will fill up a red box completely covering RuneScape. Let go and it will define the box. Now what you can do, if you want to find that colour, there's a simple function called find colour. Find colour, and it obviously returns the position of where the colour's been found in an X and Y coordinate. So let's just quickly create them now. So we have X and we have Y, and those are integers. And so we find colour, we've got the location of where the X coordinate of where the colour is found, we have the Y coordinate of where the colour is found, we have the colour, which as you can see is this bit, which is what we picked from the screen. We also have the start. Now we've got 4 parameters next, which is where it starts searching for the colour. And SRL has some values predefined and built in for it, which you can go and see for yourself. So if you go into includes and globals, just double click on one of those to load up the file, and scroll up, and you'll see loads of constants. And these also, most of these you can actually use for yourself. And these are the ones which you're going to be using. Main screen coordinates. Now as you can see, we've got main screen X1, main screen Y1, which is the very top left of the screen. And we've got main screen X2 and main screen Y2, which is the bottom right of the screen. So now that we know it's MSX1, MSY1, we can now use these. So we'll put MSX1, MSY1, which is the very top left, and we'll put MSX2 and MSY2. And then we'll close the bracket and save it. And using a function from last time, a procedure from for the last video, we use mouse, and we'll make it go to the X and the Y coordinate with no randomness at all, and we'll make it left click. So we'll choose put false to make it left click. And now if you press play, it will find the colour. Should have found the colour. Just close that. Why didn't it find the colour? Let's pick it again. So you press play, and there, and it's found the colour there. Now obviously you have got ones where where you want it to click on the barrel, but you've got it on the necklace. Now there are things you can do to it, which are called TPAs, which I will use in a later tutorial. But for now, what we can do is we can just choose a different colour. So let's pick another one. Use that one, a whitish colour. And that's still on me. But you get the idea. What it does is it searches around for the colour, and if it finds that colour, it will then store the colour in the X and Y coordinate. The X and Y coordinate can then be used, there you go, that one works. The X and Y coordinate can then be used for the mouse function to move the mouse to where you want it to move to. Now obviously using one colour in particular isn't very useful because RuneScape updates its colours every time you load the client, so colours are different each time, and different lighting details, so the colour from there is going to be different from the colour there. So there is one thing you can do, and you can add a tolerance. So it's exactly the same, apart from there is an extra parameter at the end, which is the tolerance. Hang on a second. Right, and what the tolerance does is it's how much of the colour can differentiate from the original colour that you give it. So you might give it a really strong bright yellow, but the colour might change to a dull yellow. So instead of having to re-pick the colour every single time, you can add a tolerance to it. And so and with a tolerance, it can find a bright yellow, or it could find a really dull and dark yellow. So let's change that to 20. And when we run it, it finds the yellow. Even if we're down low, it can still find the yellow because we have added a tolerance to it, which means that it can find the colour even if it isn't the exact colour that we gave it before. And there are more things. You can, if you want it to, instead of searching from, because whenever it searches, it will always search from the top left down to the bottom right. And sometimes you don't want it to search from the top left to the bottom right. You might want it to search from a specific location. And that's where spiral, find colour spiral, comes in. Now obviously it also has a tolerance counterpart. So we've now got find colour spiral tolerance, and this will search from the middle or wherever you put it to. As you can see, we've got the X coordinate, the Y coordinate, its colour, the start positions, the end positions, and the tolerance. So the parameters are exactly the same. The only difference is where it starts searching from. So it will start searching from the centre of the screen, and it will go around in a circle, out and out and out, and it will make its way out until it finds the colour. So this way, it is possible to get it to find a colour, even if it's not, instead of finding it on the top. And this is very useful if you want to find something that's close to you, instead of something that's far away. This is very useful for things like woodcutters, because there's no point in having your woodcutter cut a tree that's over here at the top left if you've got a tree right beside you. There'd be no point at all, because it'd just be unnecessary. So with using a spiral, find colour spiral, you can then find the colour closest to you first, instead of the one that's further away from you. Can't really think of anything else at the moment. I will probably next go on to T-points next. And I'll see you in the next video.